Hello, Year 11 parents and students. My name's Mr. Hill, Head of Year 11. Normally we'll be meeting in different circumstances at this time of year, going through an introduction to what we would expect in Year 11. We have got plans in place, as we do with every year. They may well change at some stage during the current circumstances. We will have to adapt. First of all, I want to thank you all for your support during the lockdown process. Very trying times for all of us, parents, teachers, students, and the kids seem to have come through that very well in the vast majority, although, we are going to need to apply support for each and every one of us, I feel, during the next year, because there are going to be challenges ahead. I'm going to go through some of the key points that I feel we would go through with any Year 11. Right now, I know Ms. Screwjoy has gone through regarding the COVID scenario and what we're putting in place there. So I'm going to focus more on the academic process leading us through into the summer next year. There's some key things we need to just re-emphasise regarding standards, uniforms, etc. We have gone through a review process this week and will continue to do so for the next couple of weeks. And I also want to give you the heads up regarding the assessment weeks and the importance of them and how that fits into the context of the year ahead. So first of all, the school expectations. We've gone through this and we've devised this with our school council, parents, governors, teachers. And it's a case of, just having an opportunity to have a quick look through that. They still apply. They've been designed through the period of last year. And they are our cornerstone, as you would like, for all of us to support each other in the process of what's going to be a challenging year. We also refer students back to the points regarding the code of conduct, especially regarding uniform, the requirements, not having mobile phones, and that we will also issue rewards at opportunities that present to us, and also that there are consequences if we don't quite get things right. So we want to be as consistent as we can with that with the students, and we want the students to play their part with the home and school expectations. Okay, right, there has been a change in our plans regarding what we're doing in the beginning of the mornings. We were on the maths corridor during your year 10, and that should have seen us through the entire year. Obviously, with the lockdown happening, we did lose some time with that. The plan was to move to the English corridor and work with the English specialists, and that's what we have done. The idea with this is that we will gain additional time for all of the students to work specifically with English trained specialists on at least 2 to 3 sessions a week. We are looking at a kind of generic programme with students initially on Mondays with assemblies from senior leadership and myself. A couple of days minimum. The English faculty will specifically be focusing in on Romeo and Juliet for the first half term. And then we will have careers guidance in one session, and then potential homework catch-ups and record of achievement preparation in the 5th day. Assemblies are taking place, like I say, once a week with the senior leadership. We also have a student bulletin which comes from myself and also the senior leadership. Any messages that need to be passed on to the Year 11 are done so every morning. At that point, we will also do uniform and equipment checks just to make sure everything is shipshape ready for the day. And we will also have the independent study, like I said, on a Friday if they need to do catch-up preparation sessions leading into the following week. Okay, well, we've made a big steps regarding our use of class charts initiated through the lockdown, and our skills in terms of staff have improved massively on that, and it was like a rolling programme. We've had to flex and change. In reality, we'll continue to use the class charts process for setting of homework. At Key Stage 4, it is obviously a crucial aspect, and you can see there in terms of what we're doing and why we're doing it, the evidence bears out. We do need the students to buy into the process that we are going to be setting homework, and it does need to be done, completed to the best of their ability. And if they use class charts, they can have a post-it, they can take it back to the lessons. It may well be that they can also message their staff if they are having difficulties with that. In terms of what we're going to be looking or building towards, the mock exams will be coming up in week 12 and 13, so the 23rd of November. Some schools have changed their assessment calendar and put the exams in earlier. We've kept ours where they are. We want to do that so we've got time for us to refresh the students in terms of content, their knowledge through Year 10, and also some key aspects which we need to build into the Year 11 programme before we actually put them into the exam situation. The plan is that we will be following exams with COVID guidelines. Most of the exams will be done all of them will be done in the bubble. Some on the English corridor, where the vast majority of our lessons are. Some will be done in the main hall, because we do need the students to experience the process of going into the main hall for the summer exams. We've been denied that opportunity in Year 10, and this practice will really have some quite significant impact on our setting of what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, etc. We will have some more core mock exams, so English, Maths and Science, due to the size of the curriculum which they go through and the different papers which they have. There will be a follow-up opportunity in the new year, leading into March. And then the GCSE exams will start from April onwards, and that is a plan, and there may be some change to that. We've just got to build in what we expect to happen right now. So how to be successful at Key Stage 4? Well, revision is a key. We will be expecting the students to obviously prepare for their exams. They do need to get it right in Year 11. The preparation will be key to how well they perform. As in lessons, they're going to have to really concentrate and make the most of their time when they're at home. They will obviously get guidance. Revision guides are available from the school website. If you go to the Sims Pay, there is a large range of subject content which can be purchased there. I would suggest that you speak to your son, daughter, to make sure that you're aware of which ones they already have. I know some were purchased leading into the Year 10 lockdown. And also which courses they follow. So, for example, in English, they might have followed different text, etc. And you need to make sure that that matches up with their course content which they've actually followed in school. We will be looking to build in a revision programme within the school day. The vast majority of the work which they do will be done in lessons, but also we will identify sessions specifically for outside of the normal school day, building in essentially a Period 6 revision programme. This will be starting around October. We will be looking at the interventions from the review points which we've just had, and that was essentially the data which came from the lockdown period. And we'll also be building in the study time within the Year 11s in the morning. We will communicate the revision timetables with you and the students, what's on and when, and who's going to access that. And we will try and communicate all of this information with you through our usual format. So there will be a paper copy, but also we will be communicating you via email. The revision guides, well, the books are available. Like I said, with the quick check, make sure we're getting the right ones. Free school meals, if that is a scenario which you are in, we will look to be putting packs of resources together to support students, because we do appreciate that the cost which is involved in this. All of the Years 11 students have had their maths workbooks issued to them this week, so they have come home or should be at home. And again, that will be a resource to support their learning with a core subject. Regarding the GCSE examinations, as things stand, we're expecting them to start in May and they will run through June. This could be subject to change, and I think you need to be aware that there is potential for the exams to be moved back, and they could well be taking place in July. We've not experienced that before. It is a possibility during this situation, and I need you to be aware of that. We will be issuing timetables for when we know when the exams are going to take place, and we will share that with you and the students so that we've got a long build up to that plan, so we know what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. During the period of the exams, there is no study leave. We will be trying to support the students as best we can all the way through the programme. There will be slight changes and we will adapt to the circumstances. Worst case scenario, no exams. I know some people might look at it and think, well, that's the best thing in the world that could happen to me if exams is not your strength. However, we have to look at the process. If we don't have exams, students don't have the opportunity to show how well they have worked through the Key Stage 4 programme, and then we will have to build in evidence. So the mock exams do carry a bigger significance this year, in that while those grades previously may have not counted for anything, they've always given us guidance on the predicted grades. And that could well be the case if we are not having exams. We will need to build up a bank of evidence, and that has essentially started now. So the mock exams which are coming up, the revision programme, the application of the knowledge, using good exam technique is everything that we will be building them up towards. We will also look at homework, so the work which is being published through class charts during the lockdown periods, and key assessments will be built into their daily, weekly routine with all subjects, as will the work which they produce in the files. So we do really need to encourage the students to make sure that they are producing the best quality work that they can, and it needs to be sustained over a long period of time to make sure that the staff have the evidence, and if they are asked to present that, it is well organised and it meets the criteria which we are presented with. Ideally, we will have the exams, and that's what we're building towards. We do need to have that backup plan just in case. The revision. So some generic ideas here regarding the revision. We do need them to start on this process essentially in the next week or so that they are ready for the exams in November. General plans there, well, we all do work in different ways. Some people like to have music in the background and, distractions and whatever else. And in reality, we're looking at a quiet, peaceful space in which they can work for short periods of time. Whether it be watching YouTube videos, whether it be reading, whether it be writing, essentially most of the research is leading us towards practice, practice, practice. The more mock papers they can do, the better. And if they find areas in which they have got gaps in their knowledge, they can go back to their notes, they can go back to their textbooks, they can go back to their written work. And hopefully they will cover the gaps there. And then obviously if there is still challenges, then they can go back to their staff to make sure that they cover everything that they need to do. Revision support, well, yes, we are going to provide them support. It will be in lessons building up to the mock exams. We do need to still carry on continuing subject content. That will be taking place all the way through this year, and essentially to cover the gaps which have been created by the lockdown. However, our Year 11s did have the opportunity to access the GCSEs in Year 9, and in that respect we are probably significantly ahead of the vast majority, in that we have covered that knowledge during Year 9 and Year 10, and now we're reinforcing that as we go into Year 11. We're starting the programme to support in period 6 as of October. It will be open access, and we will be encouraging as many students as possible to come in and do that. We will also need to look up continuing with coursework catch-up, so for subjects in design technology, for example, who are producing portfolios, etc., there will also be those options of catching up, and the students really need to make sure that they make the most of those opportunities. Likewise, as we move through into the new year, we'll be looking at the half-term and Easter breaks. Again, there will be opportunities for students to come in and catch up on work, make sure they are fully prepared for producing the best portfolios that they can, the evidence which they need. And we will also use knowledge organisers. So every subject area has now produced these. We're looking at key terms, concept, processes, and the students will have access to these at all times. So it's going to save them time writing out the notes, but in reality they need to make sure that they're absorbing this information and then have the skills to apply it during the exams. Okay, the communication, well, it is absolutely fundamental. Hopefully you have had the conversations with form tutors last year during the lockdown, and again, we would look to maintain these. Whether we're having parents' evening or not, that is open. We would like to do that. We'd like to have that face-to-face conversation and make sure we've got the facts on the table. We know who's doing what and when. We will be communicating with you with key details. These are published via social media, communications via email, etc. So you are fully up to speed with what we are doing. And it is that collaboration. It is a key aspect of us working with the school, the family, the student, to ensure that we are as well prepared as we possibly can be. The Parent app, again, is our key communicator regarding things like attendance, homework and rewards. I think we also need to bear in mind that we've all gone through very challenging times and will continue to do so in the foreseeable future. Keeping an eye on each other is absolutely crucial. We do have sections within our website on well-being, and it is looking at the mental health aspect. The Year 11 process of going through the exams is extremely challenging at the best of times. Placed in the current circumstances, we really do need to make sure that we've got that kind of wraparound care to look after each other and also the students as they prepare to go into this process. The better prepared they are, the better they will be able to cope with that. We want them to be successful. We need to make sure we remove any barriers which might stop them gaining success. Challenging times ahead. We are available, myself and Mrs. Smith. If you need to contact us, leave a message with the office, likewise with the tutors, and we will communicate with you. If you do have any questions, we will also have email available. I'll set that up for a Year 11 at Med Ahead, and that will be in availability as of next week. I'd like to wish you all the best and good health to you all, and thank you for your support.